In this video, we're gonna talk about how my mentee, Andre from New York, acquired 12 properties in Cleveland, Ohio in 1 year. What's up, everybody? Welcome to In the Field with me, Beyond Wynn. So right now we're in Andre's project that he just finished, but I want to go to the beginning of how me and Andre first met. Do you remember how we first met?
My right hand, he actually took the mentorship first, but before that, we had came down to Cleveland. I bought 2 properties, basically no good. Foundation was messed up, walls was leaning, roof was caving in. So then I asked Chad to partner with me on those flips. He wasn't too sure, so he reached out for like the proper knowledge and came across your page on Instagram. And then once he took your infill and then he relayed the info to me, then that's when I realized like I messed up. And then your next infill class, that's when I took the infill. After that, he was offering a mentorship and I was still iffy on joining the mentorship, but I was like, if I could have took basically a $50,000 loss, why not pay what you asking to gain the knowledge to regain the loss that I took on those 2 properties.
What was your biggest takeaway from the infill training? Because I know before the infill training, you didn't feel like you needed it. So once you finally got over that hump, got out your own way to come to the Cleveland infill training, what was your biggest takeaway from the training?
My biggest takeaway, number 1, would be how to evaluate a property, meaning like how to complete a rehab from start to finish. That was my biggest takeaway. And then right after that is the different zip codes and the different strategies that's for each particular zip code. Those was my main tools. So after I learned those main 2, I took off after that.
When you say took off, explain to the people, what do you mean by take off?
After I got the knowledge and I completed my first flip on my own, before partnering, I did my own property. And once I went through the trial, I still went through trial and tribulations with that property. After I completed that and I sold, then I went to Chad like, hey, I got the formula, I got the crew. Ever since then, I'm 12 properties in.
So this is number 12, the property that we're in right now.
This is 11, 12 is getting rehabbed right now.
So this particular property, what made you pick this property? Like, how did you know that this would be a profitable fix and flip? How did you determine that?
Because the interior, as far as the interior, it was basically like a lipstick. A lipstick is just like, you know, paint, new flooring, new light fixtures, like nothing major, no demo, no, none of that. You just coming in, paint, new hardware. So this house already had cabinets, which is another big expense. And you know, this kitchen has a lot of cabinets. On the exterior is brick, so it didn't need much work done, just the roof. But based on the number that wholesaler was asking and what I got it down to, I already knew like it was a deal. And I already know like in this particular area, I'm like a finished nice rehab, the comps is 220 plus. So I basically got this for under 120,000. I'm not gonna give the exact number, but I got it for under 120.
How did you know how much the properties were worth in this area after they fixed up? How did you find that out?
I found that out by one of the contacts in our mentorship group through the realtor. It's in the mentorship. Latanya, she ran the comps on the property, and once the comps came back, I told the wholesaler, like, yeah, I'll take it. But before, I'll run the comps like the realtor, like I'll check my own comps like with Redfin or Zillow, and like I have idea to see what is within a 0.5 radius. If I can't find nothing within a 0.5, I do a mile, and I can see the numbers. So I already know in my head, like, all right, I'm gonna take it. But for my guy Chad, for his peace of mind, I hit Latanya up, so we see the comps, and then yeah.
And people, for your peace of mind, get the comps from a licensed real estate agent. Don't go try to do it on your own. If you want to be sure, get the comps from a licensed real estate agent. How did you fund this deal? Like, where did you get the money to fund the deal, to purchase and do the rehab?
We funded this deal through our lender.
How you find the lender?
Within the group chat. Basically, you fund the rehab and they reimburse you back the money. So you still got to have some type of money or credit to get the rehab going. And then once the rehab is finished, you take your photo inspection and they release the money like within 24 hours back to you.
What's the potential profit on this flip?
40,000.
It's a nice number. on this property because I know, for me personally, almost every time I do a fix and flip, I get a different lesson. No matter how long I've been in the business,
Of course.
there's always get a different lesson. Like, what was some of your lessons that you got on this rehab?
So my lessons is I be trying to have my guys like do everything, but just because they do everything, basically like carpentry work, like they're not carpenters. So as far as like my garage, they did some type of fixing, but it's not to code to pass inspection. So moving forward, I'm just gonna hire, if I need a carpenter, I'm gonna hire a carpenter to do my carpentry work. Yeah, if it's an electrical guy, I'm gonna have my electrical guy do electrical, and just have my guys like focus on like less like tasks. I feel like they be getting overloaded with the workload. So I'm just gonna chop it up. And I learned that from a contact in the mentorship as well. Shawan was giving me game, telling me to just hire different people that's like specialized in that field. So that was one of my lessons.
What's your average turnaround time on a fix and flip from A to Z, like the rehab? What's your average time frame?
If it's a lipstick, as short as 2 weeks. If it's a lipstick, like if I don't got a lot of properties going on at one time, 2 weeks. That's from start to finish.
But if it's a full rehab, say 1,400 square foot, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, full rehab, meaning like roof, gutters, windows, exterior paint, electrical, plumbing, heating, kitchen, bath, carpet.
5 weeks.
5 weeks? I hear people online saying that, you know, those short time frames are not possible. How are you able to do a complete rehab in 5 weeks? The people want to know, like, how are you able to do that?
Number one is the crew, and you gotta have systems in place. As you running through your properties, like one property after the next, as you like buying more properties, you just gonna figure out a system that basically works. When I have a property under contract, I'm already mapping out like how I want that project to look. But majority of all my projects, I rehab them the same. It's just less headache. So I do gray doors, oak wood floors, butcher blocks. Like it's all the same. So when they get in there, it's just like they getting straight to it.
Basically what he's saying, AKA, for every project, you want to map out a blueprint. Blueprint meaning week one, you want to be clear about the tasks that need to be completed in week one. You get your insurance, you pull permits, you do demo, clean out, and you get your utilities turned on. Week two, you got your exterior crew on the outside doing any exterior work, roof, gutters, paint, etc. At the same time, your exterior crew is on the outside. In week two, you got your interior guys in the inside doing your mechanicals, electrical, plumbing, and heating, rough in, right? And you map out each week like that. Never go into a property running a no huddle, meaning that you get the property and you're running around everywhere. Because if you are confused, contractors are going to know that you're confused and they're going to take advantage of you. But if you equip with the knowledge, you move with the plan, you clear about the vision that's mapped out, contractors can't take advantage of you because they know that you know what you're doing. What would you say to any aspiring investors sitting on the sideline thinking about getting into real estate?
Just go for it. That's what I did. I knew all along I wanted to do real estate, and I ain't wait for nobody. I came to Cleveland with my guys, bought a property without a mentor. Don't recommend. And yes, success loves speed. If you want to real estate, then just go for it. Sky's the limit.
I gotta ask you this because you got a swag. I know that people could see it, like you on the counter, looking cool. Like you look cool, right? So I gotta ask you this: what did you do before real estate?
Before real estate, I was in the streets.
But not homeless in the streets? Like, what do you mean?
I was just trapping. Then I had my daughter, so I knew that life was no longer for me. So that's why I was just so antsy to like, you know, buy a property and do the right thing. Yeah, so that's why my transaction, I feel like it wasn't smooth in the beginning, but as I said, once Chad came across you and then like the info was solid, like I knew like I wouldn't have to go back to that life.
What was the hardest thing about making that transition from the streets to something legitimate? Because in the streets, it's like things come fast like this, but when you learn something new, you got to go through turbulence and all these different things. And so I know, because I experienced it, it was like always in the back, not in the back of my mind, towards the front of my mind, to go back because it felt like this was taking too long for me to get a check. So what was the hardest thing about that?
It was hard. The hardest part was, as you said, we used to like fast money. So like with real estate, I figured it would be fast, but as like I went through the process with my like first 2 successful flips, I'm like, oh, man, like it's, you know, you gotta rehab it, put it on the market. You gotta wait for a buyer to buy it, and you gotta wait 30 days for them to close. It was hard, so that's why me and Chad came up with the method like, all right, we just gonna go crazy. We gonna do 3, 4, 5 at a time if we can. So like when we do have a bunch of them on the market, like right now, we about to have like 4 on the market. It's just like, I bet we gonna get that large lump sum like one time. And our properties don't sit, they sell. So that's the method that works for us. That will remind us of the streets. So we do a bunch, and then we just get a large lump sum one time. But it was a hard transition though. I was just itching.
I can relate.
Yeah,
I can relate.
It was hard, man. It was hard.
How did you feel when you got your first real estate check? I'm doing interviews, so I can tell my story too. But when I got my first real estate check, I remember like yesterday, I had that check in my pocket for like a month. Like I couldn't believe it was real. And I was showing it to my friends, like basically letting them know that, listen, this is a way out the jungle. Like we ain't gotta risk our life or put ourselves in a position where somebody else gotta raise our kid. Like real estate is real, but at the time, nobody listened to me. Like people didn't start listening to me until like 10, 15 years later. But that was an amazing feeling, like me getting my first legitimate check. How did you feel when you got your first?
I felt good. I think that was like my first time seeing such a large amount in my account. And I don't think I touched that money for like a whole month. Like I just like kept staring. I even got a screenshot of it on my phone. Like that's like my first big check with real estate. It felt good. And I did it by myself, no partner. With the knowledge you gave me, that's what helped me to move to the finish line.
So what's next for you? What's next for Andre?
More properties. We looking into new construction in Cleveland. That's a thought in the air. But yeah, keep buying more properties.
And what would you say to the person watching this video, thinking real estate may be the vehicle, but not sure, wondering if real estate is real or not? Is there really any money in real estate? Is the market oversaturated? I live in New York. How can I get money in Cleveland? Like, what would you say to that person or them people?
Yeah, I say if you really want to do real estate, the first step is to tap in with a mentor. And then after that, if you still feeling a little iffy, to make stuff easier on your end, what you be preaching is relationships over money. So partnership is always a good idea to take some of the burden off your shoulders. That's a great way to get ahead versus doing it alone.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. Thanks again. This is In the Field with Beyond Wynn.